Well, hey,
Hello. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. How are you, Joe?
Goody, good. Shout out to everybody. How are you guys doing? Exciting night.
Yes, it is. Hello, fellow explorers. For any of you going to be watching this or going to be joining us, this is part two of I don't know how many parts, maybe two or three, who knows? I got a lot of stuff. I'm sure
Yeah.
Joe's got some stuff too. So this is just one of those
Yes.
subjects that is pretty big. It's been around for a while. The whole, mysteries surrounding Antarctica. So it's hard to cover in just one or two episodes,
I
without
know it's so much, man. So much.
without doing it justice anyway.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
So how are you? How you doing? What's going on? What's new?
Oh, good. Just got off of a fire show with Prime Minister.
Oh, okay.
And we did a show at 6 o'clock, so for about an hour. But the most interesting part is just talking about the galactics. We went and talked a little bit about the galactics and
Cool.
how that kind of coincides with the Bible and things like that. And so it was really good,
Cool.
really
That's
good.
awesome.
Yeah, how are you, man? How you been?
I've been good. It's been I don't want to say biblical, but man, it's been a lot. It's been a lot rainier this year than it has in a lot of years where I live, and
Oh wow.
there's some epic flooding happening around the world, especially in Europe. There's about 7 or 8 countries that are getting hammered that have
Yes.
never seen this much rain, and Germany is one of them. And you got dams in China breaking, and it's just crazy times right now. Well, I shouldn't say crazy.
Yeah,
But you know what I'm saying? It's just
interesting?
just
Yeah, interesting.
adding to the pile, adding to the heap of other stuff that's going on. It's like,
Right.
what's next? They're going to bring back the murder hornets, or the
Well, one thing that they're saying, which I got excited, which I mean, we all knew for a long time, is now they have discovered that China has to do a lot with the different hacks.
Yes. Yeah.
Most recently, one with Microsoft.
Yes, I saw that one today. That they were kind of like, hey guys, thanks for letting us use your platform to spy on you.
Right. Pretty much.
Thanks for downloading Windows 10.
Right. Right. But the interesting part is there was no Russia coming out of their mouths. So I guess I don't know.
That'll
of course,
change.
they're not going to stop saying Russia, but I'm glad they at least put out that China had a lot to do with the hacks.
Yeah, give them a couple days.
We'll see. We'll
be back.
Yeah. That's true.
They're not gonna let that horse lie down.
Nah, they're not. It's just crazy, but yeah, that it's been very interesting with this weather, and of course they're going to blame it on what they call the climate change
crisis.
Or whatever.
It's a crisis now. Climate crisis.
Climate crisis. Come on.
Yes. Yeah. According to Gore, the world is going to end like in 2013 or whatever, but that's happened.
Yeah, that
happened. We're all getting ready to board spaceships that are heading in the mountains to head out to the moon or something,
Right. Exactly. Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy, but hey,
I think with this episode, I forgot to mention this last episode. I wanted to start with this, but I totally forgot. Why didn't you start with your Antarctica dream again? Your time travel dream, because I kind of want to base some things off of that. But for the people that haven't heard it, I would like you to hear it.
Okay, definitely. It kind of goes with some of the stuff I was going to talk about tonight too. That was discovered. So I went to sleep, had what I considered a dream. But of course, when I woke up, it was like I knew I was there. Okay. So I was there and I'm looking around and I noticed that, it was tropical land. But I also knew there was a knowing that I was in Antarctica. And that's what I knew. I could have been anywhere in the tropical land. I could have thought I was in Hawaii or whatever. But I knew that I was in Antarctica. And So I'm looking around, and so all of a sudden I notice there were like maybe two or three, um, not beings, they were humanoid, like people that were there. And let me describe them. One of the things I noticed is that their heads were a bit narrow and kind of long, elongated. And they were tall. They were tall, and they had like copper. Well, I don't know if it was gold. It might have been gold, like jewelry around their wrists, and around where the elbow is at, and like on their legs or whatever. And so I'm kind of looking at them, and I look around, and I see like kind of like a futuristic subway system. You know, it's like a tunnel, but it looked like it had been devastated. You know, part of what I was looking at, this tropical land or world in Antarctica, looked like part of it was devastated, like something had happened. And so I'm looking through this, you know, looking at this tunnel, this subway tunnel, and I noticed that the actually subway cart looked very futuristic. But I knew that I was in ancient times. I knew I was in the past. So that's the thing. It's like I was in ancient times, and I knew that this wasn't the future. I was in ancient times. And so after I looked at all that and everything, I woke up. And then it was like, I knew, like, man, I was just in Antarctica. And I told my wife and everything. And she was like, wow, you know.
She's like, wow. Go back to bed.
Yeah. So that was for me proof of time travel. Maybe not in body, because when most people hear time travel, they think, oh, so you were just zapped back in time, and they think, you know, within body and everything. But no, I believe I did time travel by the spirit, because we got to understand, in the spirit realm, you know, in the spirit realm, there's no time or space. So you can travel in all different times. And of course, my last video that we did together, we talked about that in the Bible. We looked at some scriptures that prove that Jesus time traveled.
Yeah, you were a witness there for all intents and purposes. You were there to witness something.
Oh yeah, it was real, man. It was like when I woke up, I knew I was there. And I've had other experiences like that. I had one experience being in Germany, actually, and I was in like it's like a prison cell in Germany, and I was talking to this, I guess, soldier that I don't know if he was an American soldier or from another country besides Germany, but I know he was a prisoner. And so I'm like kind of talking to him and kind of encouraging him and, you know, ministering to him. And I prayed for him. And then I woke up and was back in my bed. But when I woke up, it's like I knew I was there. Because, you know, sometimes you have dreams and it's like, oh, that was a dream. You know, on the inside, you know, oh, that was just a dream. But these experiences, I knew I was there. It was like I can feel the temperature and everything. Like when I was in Antarctica, I could feel the temperature being warm and everything. You know, it was just amazing.
Cool. I mean, even like, I know for me, any kind of experience like that, my pulse is usually different, you know, and it almost takes me a little bit to reorient to where I'm at, you know, like, like almost like this is not the reality. And then I'm trying to orient myself back to, you know, it's like, you know, I shouldn't have had that last sandwich before I went to bed. You know? It's like,
yeah.
But I think it happens to a lot more people than people realize. And I think people, if your mind's open to it and it's just like with God, if you listen to the word of God, I mean, God speaks to everybody a little differently, or people receive it a little differently. And I think these experiences are like, I saw a video and I can't remember who did it, but it was called Shoulder Tap. And it was like, God taps you on the shoulder once in a while and wants you to either do something for somebody or experience something or show somebody something. And I think these kinds of experiences are those shoulder taps, you know, like, hey, I need you to see this, or I need you to witness this, or, you know, whatever that case is. And I think as we're growing as a society, I think we're probably going to hear a lot more stories like that. You know, I think there's going to be a lot more people coming out and saying, hey, I don't feel afraid to talk about that anymore. You know, I don't want my spouse or my kids or whatever making fun of me, because, you know, a lot of people are afraid to relay those kind of experiences because not only is it about something that's probably, you know, not mainstream, and they're probably afraid of not being looked at like a normal person. So
yeah. Oh yeah. Look, I haven't told too many people about that dream after it happened, because this happened like maybe 2 years ago.
mm,
And I haven't told too many people about that. But at this point, I don't care. So it's like, I know
well,
within our Patriot family, people are open to that and probably have had those same experiences.
I hope people, whether you're watching this show or watching any other shows like this, that just you're with a group of people that totally get it, aren't going to make fun of you. I
Right.
mean, there's no judgment. There's no right or wrong as far as, well, now if it was like they were sacrificing babies or something, that would be a whole different thing.
Yeah.
But but I'm saying in general, for people that have these cool experiences and that, they don't know how to explain them, you're in good company. I mean, there's a lot of people with you. So don't be afraid to share. And the link to this in the message, or excuse me, description of this video after it's done, there'll be a email, there'll be some links you can go to. Don't be afraid to email any experiences you have, or anything like that. We want conversations started. We want, even in the chat, if you're here, don't be afraid to join the chat. Don't be afraid to subscribe, obviously. But like today, I was going to forward you an email that I got from, I'm not going to use her whole name because I don't know if she gave me permission to, but her name's Mendy, Mendy. And she sent me a link to a TikTok video.
Oh.
And this is for a whole nother episode, but it has to do with Jesus. And it floored me. When I was done watching the video, it was right before you got on. And I'm like, man, I gotta forward this to him. And so after the show, I'll forward it to you.
Yeah,
and,
please do.
We'll definitely use it in another episode, because it's right up your alley as far as being able to relate it to the Bible and literary references and that kind of stuff. Because it's not what this person is referencing is a book he found at a garage sale, and is not the Bible, but it is a book about religions in general, and Christianity is in there, and it's in this section of Christianity. And it mentions number 17.
Okay.
So I'll forward it to you, and you can kind of give me your 2 cents, and we'll go from there.
Nice. Yeah, I would love that.
But it's very cool. For those of you that are going to be watching this or joining us right now, part 2 of Antarctica. If you haven't seen part 1, go watch part 1 when you're done. You don't have to watch them in order, I guess.
Yeah.
There are so many things to talk about, and I'm going to try to keep it sort of on the same rails, the same train tracks, hopefully. And that way we don't jump all over the place. And so by the time next episode runs around, we'll be on another subject. So
right. Yeah.
So what you got, Joe? What do you got?
All right. Well, I was I was drawn to this one bit of article, and it's from, I believe, is Wayfair Travel, and so I just kind of searched it, and they were talking about, I think it was about 14 or more than that, all these different mysteries of Antarctica. Yeah, 14 is specifically talking about 14 mysteries of Antarctica. And so I'm going to look at the last one, which is entitled Aliens, Nazis, and the Lost City.
Okay.
And so it says Antarctica is a breeding ground for mystery, and it's had its fair share of conspiracy theories over the years. From elongated skulls.
Where have you heard that before?
Well, yeah, exactly.
Like 10 minutes ago.
Which blew my mind, because I'm just now seeing this. And as soon as I saw that, I'm like, man, that's what I saw when I was there. From elongated skulls and strange pyramids, which we saw in the video you showed last time, to alien, once again, spaceships, bizarre structures, and a giant staircase. Many people believe that Antarctica once housed extraterrestrial life, or still does. Every year, there are dozens of reported UFO sightings. And we've seen one of those videos, which you've showed as well. And, people they can choose whether it's real or not,
Right.
But the proof is, and the truth is that there have been a lot of UFO sightings. And it's not a coincidence when you have so many UFO sightings. While Google Earth has captured some unusual activity, said to be the work of the aliens, it's a hotspot for alien hunters. So keep your eyes peeled for any bizarre green lights in the sky.
And hope they're not predator.
Yeah, I know, right? The mystery of Antarctica continues deep below its surface where no one has gone before. It is said that the lost city of Atlantis is hidden beneath the kilometers of ice. The city would have thrived when Antarctica was a warm, tropical region, and would have been buried after the ice age froze the continent. It's highly possible that a civilization existed in Antarctica, but it is yet to be proven that the continent is the site of the fabled lost city. It's also theorized that the Nazis used underground Antarctica as a secret hideaway, and some people believe that Hitler fled there after the war. I've heard that, I think.
Yeah, there's speculation that he went there first and then ended up in Brazil or Argentina or wherever the heck he supposedly ended up at.
Right. Hitler did have a passion for the occult, and he was searching for something in Antarctica. The Nazi Germans built a station in Antarctica. However, it was abandoned 70 years ago after the crew were poisoned by polar bear meat. That's new.
Dang polar bears.
I know. Although the theory
probably had monkeypox.
Yeah. How about that? Is that how he died? Maybe. Although the theory has been disproven, it doesn't stop the speculation on what lies beneath Antarctica's mysterious surface. The Great White Continent is the most baffling and unexplained corner on Earth, and despite the dedicated efforts of scientists around the world, we may never know all of its secrets. If you'd like to explore the mysteries of Antarctica, get in touch with our luxury travel specialist to chat about your ideas. This is a traveling place talking about this. This is why I wanted to read it, because this is wayfarertravel.com. And so they're talking about this.
It's probably not a destination everybody wants to go to, so they got to pump it up,
They got to put all the mystery, interesting stuff in there.
If we're gonna sell tickets, we better to pump this up.
But
like they're gonna get fed polar bear steaks or something.
Polar bear steaks and watch the green lights in the sky, the predators.
It's funny. Everything you just mentioned is kind of stuff I'm going to go over. It literally ties in with everything you just said.
Wow.
And going back to what we talked about last week, when we were talking about, when we went through that video of the alleged bird diary, that race of people, the Ariani, that bird encountered. One thing after that video, after we got done with that episode, that kind of caught me was that person was referred to as the master, like you were going to see the master.
Yeah. Right.
And Hitler always referred to the Aryan, short for Ariani, I'm guessing, referred to the master race. They always referred to it as the master race.
Okay.
So I'm like, oh man, why didn't I think of that while we were live? It's like, oh well, is what it is. But I just want to throw that out there. The connection between the Aryan race and the Ariani. And it's funny because all the stuff in the video was like German or Nordic sounding, like the Flugelrods and all the different areas of the map are all kind of Nordic or German. So I don't know. It's like chicken or the egg. Which was it? Hitler's influence on Bird or his family, or was it the Ariani's influence on Bird and then on Hitler? So who knows?
Yeah.
Take that for what you will.
Yeah, exactly.
But I saw this video. My dad was a private pilot, not a commercial pilot. And I used to go up with him a lot when I was a kid, and I learned how to fly, but never got my license.
Okay.
So there's maps that they that they give pilots. I just thought of this the other day, and I found this video, so I'm going to play this real quick. Let me.
Okay.
All right, let's see here. Come on, there you
go.
This is a map that is downloaded in every autopilot computer.
Really?
On every airplane that has autopilot. This is the map that it uses. The only proof you guys have for round Earth, a globe, is NASA. No information you have ever received has come from anywhere but NASA. NASA in Hebrew means to deceive. This is Antarctica. If you do measurements for distances on how long flights are on this map, are identical to flight times that you look up on the internet. Do your research. It's not a globe. God said so.
I don't know about that, because again, I'm not the expert on that. So
right.
Like you said, do your research. I just found that was one of those old 1959 maps that has Antarctica as the outer edge of the whole map.
Edge. Right.
And so I can't verify that that's true or not, but it's not the first time I've ever seen somebody present a map like that for autopilots or for flying and for computer autopilot and that kind of stuff. So take it for what you will, folks.
Yeah.
Just thought it was interesting since we're talking about Antarctica.
But I wonder though, just real quick, I wonder if there has been anybody who has tried to fly, all the way to that perimeter, because I've heard, I think, of people who have tried to do it, maybe, but they were stopped by the military or something. But I don't know. But I mean, have you heard of anybody who have tried to fly, that distance and try to see what,
Well, again, this is a whole nother tinfoil subject we can talk about, which is the flat Earth. And up until probably 3 months ago, I was smacked anybody in the face if they said the Earth was flat. And but I have to say, in the last 3 months, my mind is far wider open about the Earth not being a globe. I'm not going to say it's flat, but not being a globe.
Right.
And there's just a lot of things I've seen that have just made me think, and some more than others. And especially with a lot of old texts referring to Earth as a realm and not as a world, so to speak. And I mean, and as far as I know, Earth is the only thing only body that I've heard of being referred to as a realm. Every other planet has been referred to as a planet or a celestial body or whatever you want to call it. But with that being said, the whole idea of a hollow Earth, and because one of the things I'm going to show is or I'm going to talk about real quick is in 2018, there was a satellite image that was captured. There was a contrail, which is, the water vapor from a fairly fast moving aircraft that it leaves behind. Typically it takes about 30 minutes, I guess, for it to fully dissipate, but it usually really just starts dissipating in about 15 minutes. So in 2018, there was captured an image from pole to pole. So that's like 12,000 miles of a contrail from the Antarctic to the North Pole. So they speculated that in order for that contrail to be formed, that object would have had to have been traveling in excess of 50,000 miles per hour.
Wow.
If that truly was, a contrail. And so, again, I lost my train of thought. I'll come back to it. But anyway, I took some notes of some things I have on my computer, and I kind of put them together, and it'll just kind of real quickly give some background or perspective on some of the things I'm going to show.
Okay.
So we talked about Admiral Byrd in last episode. And if people aren't familiar with Project High Jump, that was basically the Antarctic expedition that Byrd led in 1946, and it was just the military's term or code for it. Okay. So August 26, 1946 is when the U.S. scientific expedition named High Jump traveled to Antarctica. That fleet or that convoy consisted of 13 ships, 33 aircraft, and 4,700 troops. That's a pretty big expedition.
Oh yeah.
To go to someplace, anyway. After 9 months, they came back. So they whatever happened, and there was, allegedly a lot of damage to ships, and planes were shot down. People were killed. Like they had a battle of some kind.
Uh-huh.
Of course, I'm like reading ahead in my notes. Fought a battle with what might have been the remnants of the Third Reich or extraterrestrials, as it's hypothesized. Because you can kind of go either way. You can go Third Reich, because they supposedly had and were developing the technology for these disc aircraft, or extraterrestrials, or the native race to this planet that people really don't know a whole lot about, the Ariani.
Right.
So it could be any one of those. There were stories and accounts of these disc-like craft coming up out of the water and attacking them. Byrd reported March 9th, 1947, a new enemy had been discovered that could fly pole to pole in an instant. And that's what I wanted to kind of tie in with that 2018 satellite image, because that was a pole-to-pole image. It was not around the Earth, horizontally. It was longitudinally. It was north to south. So I just thought that was kind of a cool correlation. Let's see here. Okay, so that's it for the notes. So that's a little bit of background on that expedition. And there is a book that I think the Navy put out. I'll put a link to it, but let's see if I have a picture of it here. It's called, if you search Google or whatever, if you search Army Observers Report of Operation High Jump, it'll take you to, there is a link to it, and you can actually download it from the NIH website. It's like 424 pages long.
Wow.
Okay. So that's the cover of it. And if you look down at the bottom, it was formerly restricted and classified. Now it's obviously unclassified, but I haven't looked through the whole thing yet, but it goes through like what the purpose was, who was involved, like what armed services branches were involved, what their purpose was or the intended purpose, and all this other stuff. So it's an interesting read if you get to go download it. If I find the link, I'll put it in the show notes. And let's see here. Come on. There we go. There was I don't know when it was released, but Steve Quayle had talked about this, and I found this on a website, let's see, called 432 The Drop. That was actually the name of the website, and it was called Antarctica Maps of the Cave World. And these were unclassified. These were like higher than top secret as far as the Third Reich was concerned. Like these documents were given to the U-boat commanders and things like that for anybody that was trying to establish this base or whatever they were working on in Antarctica.
Okay.
And I do have individual images of these actual maps and stuff here. So I'm going to actually read from the text. There's a few images here.
Okay.
It says, for anybody watching or whatever later on, just pause the video and you can kind of look at the map and read the map as I go along. I don't want to enlarge it because I won't be able to read it, or you won't be able to see the map. It says, this map shows us the main continent on this hemisphere called Asgard. Where have we heard that name before?
Yeah.
On the continent of Asgard, in the center lies the city of, I don't know if it's Aces or Azes, however you pronounce that. Below left, we can clearly see Neu-Schwabenland, which in German, Neu means new, or so New Schwabenland, with the capital New Berlin. The small hook crosses indicate where the Navy bases had set up bases. The main poison here is the Valkyr, whatever. It's an ocean.
Okay.
Further, you can see the Caribbean Sea, the Kartar Lake, and the Amadak Archipelago. And there is a link on this website where it says Hollow Earth blog. There's a whole nother site that's a totally different rabbit hole that takes you to the whole Hollow Earth thing. It's an unbelievable site. You have to kind of go there too. This map shows us the main continent of this hemisphere called Liberia. The main poem is also called some of these German words I'm not going to be able to pronounce. It's another ocean. In the center on the far left, we can see the connection to the other hemispheres. There, the Asgard Sea is represented. One can cross over the continent, namely the continent Asgard. Just to the right of the Asgard Sea are the Gaul Islands, the Gurney Island, and the Gaul Lake. A little to the right of Gaul Lake is the Septaratus Sea, and the Septaratus, or 7 countries. In the middle lies the Aran Sea. The Aran Archipelago is a little to the right of the Aran Sea. And let's see, further to the right is again the whatever ocean with the May Islands, the Verboten Island. Verboten in German, if I remember my German correctly, means forbidden. Verboten Island and Mallard Island, something about it, sorry. In the center on the right are the Faroe Islands. Below is the city of Shambhala. Now, Shambhala has been mentioned in Hollywood and movies, and explore like Indiana Jones-ish type of movies. It's also referred to the city of the gods, Shambhala. So that might be where your giant steps come in, or your, and giants in general.
Right.
The Tibetan monks still say that the city of Shambhala really exists, but not on the surface of our planet, but inside the planet. So here it is confirmed by the map that Shambhala is a real city in the earth on the inside of the crust. And again, this is from the Hollow Earth blog. So this is a close-up view of the official authentication of the map. It shows the Reichsstadler and shows us how we should proceed with the map. It is in red. Now, this is kind of coming from the perspective of that U-boat captain. So what I'm reading is kind of his interpretation of the Third Reich, the Nazi, these orders and this manual that was given to him, because it was specifically given to this gentleman, or the U-boat commanders. And it says, return from the mission in the secret division, in danger, then first threat. Again, this is translated from German, so some of this doesn't sound right when you read it.
Okay.
Here's the official stamp with somebody's signature on it. It says, next to the Reichsstadler is confirmed by the command of the submarine fleet of the Kriegsmarine of the German Reich. And if I remember, Krieg in German means war, so like war marine of some kind. Under the signature of H. Kohlmeier, and under the signature field is in very small letter, printed for the Kriegsmarine in the edition of 1,300 copies. So there were 1,300 copies of this in the special laboratory of Dachau concentration camp, January 1944. This means that the RDs already had the colony New Schwabenland in January of 1944. New Berlin was already established at that, and then expanded. In another part of the map, it is said that they need men and women to expand the territories of the Third Reich. So they're trying to recruit people to go out here. And then there's a map and a description on how to get, there's like an underwater path that the subs follow to get to the inner world of Antarctica, which is this map. And then in his words again, I recommend within the next 6 months, a careful and covert selection of volunteers for the development of the new territories of the German Reich in new, again, this doesn't make sense because it's translated to me, I guess, but in Neu, which is new, within the next 6 months with the powers of the specially formed commission for recruitment in the Wehrmacht, Luftwaffe, Kriegsmarine, and SS units Swabia. And then again, this is the map showing the depths of these canyons and things like that, and the actual path that they have to take to get to the entrance to this inner world, as it was.
Wow.
It says this part of the Reichsdeutschen map from the Cave Earth gives a step-by-step guide to how to reach the inner world of Antarctica using a U-boat. The German U-boats of type 11 and 13 were very advanced for their time. The Reichsdeutsche were free in their thoughts and in their spirit. They were no intellectual slaves like the billions of people today in this world. When people's thoughts are free, creative work becomes the norm. This is why the free citizens of the Third Reich could construct these incredible devices like the Haunebus and Andromeda devices. This map shows us the exact coordinates where you can find the corridor to the inner world of Antarctica. It is also said that in the document that the packet number 3 is to be opened only upon arrival in Antarctica. So if you do like a Google Earth of those coordinates that are on that map,
right,
it's right there, which is right above, Antarctica, right at the kind of the north. You can see like a little peninsula almost like kind of sticking out there.
Yeah.
It's hard to see in this, but you can kind of see that supposedly that's where the U-boats, that's where they would enter the inner world.
Into the inner world, yeah. That's crazy.
That is crazy. And this is, I'm not going to read this, but this is the actual like trim and everything like a sub commander would need to navigate those waters.
Right.
To get to that.
Okay.
And so anybody that's interested in that can pause the video and and read that yourself if you want.
Right. And now, when you go to, I haven't been to Google Earth, too many times, but when you go to Google Earth, like if you were to scroll all the way like to the edge of the globe, what does it do? It just rotates. It doesn't show you like if it's I don't know how they manipulate that.
I just know that one video we had on the last show, somebody was messing around with Antarctica, and when they zoomed in on it, it was showing like these hidden areas that you couldn't see, and then others were not snow covered, and others were like had sand.
But
when you zoom out, it looked like ice. The whole thing was covered with ice.
Right. So they got all the manipulation type stuff going on.
So go figure. So this is an actual letter. It's in German from Karl Unger, a crew member of U-209, which was the U-boat that all that information came from. I don't know if I have the translation of it here. Let's see here. Oh yeah, I do. Okay, good. This is the actual translation. Dear old comrade, this message will be a surprise to you. The submarine 209 has done the Earth is hollow! ! Dr. Haushofer and Hess were right. The whole team is doing well, but she cannot return. We are not prisoners. I'm sure this message will reach you. It's the last link with the U-209. We'll meet again, comrade. I am anxious for those who have spent their lives on the surface of the earth since the whatever Führer has gone. God always bless our Germany. With kind regards, Charles Unger. So it makes it sound like they might have spent a little bit of time there.
Yeah.
Like wish you were here.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Also from the same website, and I think from those same documents, this is all in German, but these are the plans for the different models of disc craft that the Germans had. Haunebu 1. This is like model or type 1. And it goes into, I don't know if I have the translation, but somewhere I saw there's a translation because it shows like the crew capacity and the armaments that each of these craft have for each of the different types that they have.
Okay.
I want to say there's 11 or 12 types. This is like type 1. Yeah, here it is. This is translated. Like it tells you like the actual, like for type 1, 25 meters in diameter, goes into the type of control, speed, range, armament, crew, and a bunch of other stuff. So it goes through this, through a few different ones. I think I have, this is like type 2. And it goes into, again, all the same criteria, the range, the speed. Like this one supposedly flies faster, 21,000 miles per hour.
My goodness.
And its diameter is 26.3 meters. And it's, again, I'm going through this a little quick so you guys can pause the video later, but description is for that type 2. Then there's a type 3. And again, these are all unique aircraft. Like they don't overlap as far as like their function. Well, maybe not their function, but their designs are all a little bit different.
Okay.
And again, description. Let's see. And there's some like general conversations between some of these people, like they're talking back and forth, like, really, what are they going to use these for? Like, why are we designing these? What's the function?
Yeah, what are they going to use these for?
Type 4. This one's huge. This one's 120 meters in diameter. It's almost like a mothership.
Yeah, it looks like a mothership.
But these things are, and then you had, I think this was, Project Andromeda, which that's a whole nother subject. Let's see. T.W. Hoopa. Isn't the word Asgard related to a Norse god? Yes. Asgard is a place in Norse mythology.
Okay.
If any of you have watched the sci-fi series Stargate, there's actually a race of Greys, or actually they're kind of implying that the Greys are the Asgard. Like they're
really?
They're called the Asgard in the series, and they pretended to be the Norse gods back in the day. So,
okay.
So Asgard's thrown around pretty liberally, but yes, it is Norse derivative.
Asgard was on Thor, right? Wasn't that where Thor was from?
Asgard, yes, exactly. That's where all the peeps were hanging out.
Yeah.
Until the Earth realm got involved, and then they always end up screwing stuff up. So stupid humans. But yeah, the Andromeda device. I guess that's a whole nother. To me, like you can see that one of the Type 2 aircraft is in the middle of the Andromeda device.
Okay.
You can kind of see like right here. So it looks like a big old, looks like a mothership.
Yeah.
And I can't remember if these things on the left and right were ports or what they were, like where ships could enter and exit. So they had some big plans for this stuff. And I just thought this was interesting from 1988. From National Examiner.
Wow.
It says America's fastest growing weekly, for any of those that care. The title just caught me. UFO mystery solved, and it had a picture of Hitler in Antarctica on it. So when I saw that, I'm like, maybe might be interesting. It says the solution to the UFO mystery has been found at long last. The aliens are actually Nazis bent on establishing a bloody Fourth Reich. Ooh, that sounds sinister. And it goes on. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but again, if you want to pause the video, or if you want to Google it, whatever, just type in National Examiner, January 26, 1988, UFO mystery solved. And it's by George Glidden. So it's a interesting read, like kind of a National Enquirer kind of thing, so, but since we're talking about it, here's an article for you.
Yeah, there you go. That's it.
It's like, bam, there you go.
The proof is in the pudding.
That's right. And then here's the actual, it ties in with that. It's, see how it says UFO secret solved on the top there. I think I actually will read this one. This is the solution to the UFO secret was finally found. The aliens are actually Nazis who want to build a fourth empire. And the governments of the world know about this issue, but they are panicked, says a researcher. Nazi Germany has always built a small fleet of UFOs in 1940, has already built a fleet of UFOs in 1940, says Christoph Friedrich, author of UFOs, Secret Nazi Weapons. Friedrich claims that the German UFO scientists have escaped from the war zone in the homeland while the Allies were invading. And this is Friedrich's quote, that some scientists were missing was clear, and although some of the plants and installations were localized, the staff and their machines and prototypes had disappeared. Even the test pilots had disappeared. And Friedrich claims that Hitler and his wife, Eva Braun, deceived the world by letting them believe that they had committed suicide in a bunker in Berlin during the last days of the Second World War. Friedrich presents the following evidence that Hitler was alive, or still alive. The bodies of Hitler and Braun were never produced. The items introduced as proofs are just indications: 2 of Hitler's hats, a pair of underpants, with the initials EB, and a pair of bones. The blood spots found on the furniture in Hitler's quarters were not of his blood type. The most important witnesses and men closest to Hitler were never found. There are simply too many reports of sightings, testimonies, and even evidence that the suicide scenario was a brilliant, successful scenario. The researcher says that Hitler and Braun were flown to Norway, and there's that whole Nordic connection again, in one of the world's first jet aircraft. The couple had entered a U-boat and drove to a secret base in South America. Friedrich claims that the Hitler's U-boat convoy was related to a fierce battle with a British war navy, and the Germans destroyed a British blockade with secret high-tech weapons. Friedrich also says it looks as if the miracle weapons of which Goebbels had spoken in such glowing tones only a few days before were now used for the first time in a real battle situation. The result, a single survivor of a British destroyer, and of him, the captain, came the words, "If God should help me, I shall never again meet such a force." The report of this statement came to the Chilean newspaper El Mercurio, and El Mercurio shows up a bunch of times surrounding Hitler. That newspaper, for whatever reason, keeps popping up. Friedrich argues that Hitler's secret agents used fake US dollars and British pounds to build secret military bases in South America and UFO bases in the Arctic. Hitler had planned long and took measures, says Friedrich. Obviously, also led with the possible occupation and loss of Germany itself. He has been looking for land for the possible colonization and has found it in Antarctica, where the opening is to the inner world of Vagkarta. Note the translator, and that's the thing we were looking at earlier in the show. Right. At the time, that was the only country that was not yet claimed. Friedrich added the secret Nazi expeditionary force was headed by Captain Richter and took a seat in 1937-38. The force landed near Queen Maud Land and established bases there. Over 11,000 photos were taken for cartographic purposes. Oh. Incredibly, the researcher says that the U.S. and Soviet governments have known about the secret Nazi bases for over 40 years, but they do not know how to deal with it and have therefore suppressed the truth. Friedrich claims that, and I think that's possibly why the whole project, the high jump expedition was sent, was to deal with it. 4,700 troops to go to,
right.
look at polar bears and stuff, Yeah. Friedrich claims that the Nazi spaceships have become so demanding with the help of extraterrestrials that the Nazis have befriended because they were there in Antarctica. writes the researcher, did scientists of Hitler achieve the unbelievable without extraterrestrial forces, or have extraterrestrials help technological development? Maybe people from another galaxy, question mark. The aliens helped the Germans possibly because they were at a certain technological developmental stage. That's what I mentioned in the last videos. Maybe like they started talking to them first because they were already on that path. They were already, trying to develop that technology. Friedrich believes that Hitler's last battalion will come into action when the world is deep in an economic crisis. Then the space Nazis, as they call them, will occupy strategic points in this world, and will rule the world. George Glidden. So that was basically that article. So for those of you that want to follow the Nazi occupation rabbit hole, there you go.
That's it.
That's about it.
That's the way to go.
In a nutshell, right there.
And you said that whole thing has how many pages?
Well, that was Project High Jump, or the Expedition High Jump.
Right.
The military manual is 400 and do some pages long. It is 424 pages long.
Wow.
But again, it's interesting to read some of it because it goes into kind of very basic. This is the real reason why we're going to Antarctica. We're trying to establish a base there. We want to establish a presence there.
Right.
And it just didn't turn out that way. So something happened after, because they were only gone 9 months.
But it was a time too where Russia was establishing a base there. Didn't they establish a base out there?
I don't know if they actually established a base. I know they wanted to.
Yeah, I know there were talks out of that, and I know he was going out there. Putin was going out there, and this was, I think, was it while Trump was in office or before that?
I think it was before that.
Yeah, I think it was before that when Obama. Yeah, when Obama was in office. So
remember, Kerry just went out there like this past year too.
Well, he's been going out there a lot. Remember that time with him, Obama, and Hillary? They all went out there for something. I don't know what it was.
It's like, hey guys, want to go to Antarctica? Sure.
Why all of us are like, what's in Antarctica? Why are you guys going out there? What's
have some polar bear steaks, and we'll laugh it up. We'll make fun of everybody, all the other people in the United States and that don't know anything. But it's just interesting that got into the mainstream and nobody said anything about it, except for the people that are awake. Yeah. Nobody said anything. Like nobody questioned, like, why is John Kerry going to Antarctica?
Right. Weird.
No, he froze up there.
Oh.
Nope.
Oh,
there you are.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Well, hopefully people will be questioning a lot more now, that a lot of things are surfacing. A lot of mysteries are being questioned. And obviously, now with the UFO disclosure that's all out, that's talking about on mainstream media, would lead to some other questions and see what else is really out there,
Yeah, I don't know if you know what Code Monkey is, but not Monkey Works for those who watch Monkey
right.
Works. Yeah. There's a lot of monkeys in this movement. But Code Monkey with the letter Z on the end. So I don't know if it's Code Monkeys or Code Monkey Z. So I apologize, Code Monkey, if I don't know. But he just posted a video of a Tic Tac shaped unidentified flying object that he recorded the other day or a couple days ago, whenever it was. And I don't know let's see if I have that here. I'm curious. I don't know if I saved it.
Yeah, he recorded it himself.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Let's see here. Hold on. Hopefully you don't lose me here. I'm still on there. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let me go to Code Monkey's feed here real quick. Since we're talking about it, might as well just throw that up. Oh, he changes.
They changed the picture on it.
Weird. You know, when people change their avatar and stuff like that, it's like hard to find.
Oh, okay.
All right, where is he?
He changed it on YouTube.
Come on. Jeez. Anyway, something's actually going on because just his chat is up there now. There's no like actual channel. That's weird. But
yeah, that's odd.
Anyway, maybe we'll have a Close Encounters kind of episode, and I'll throw that one in there too.
Yeah, gotta be
because that is another subject I would at some point down the road like to talk about in one of the soon episodes or soon to be episodes. I mean, anybody that's watching this is something that we've mentioned in previous videos is we want participation. We want you guys to send us emails, to send stuff in the chat. Like, what do you guys want to talk about? Or what do you want? What interests you? You know, what kind of subjects interest you that are tinfoil hat kind of subjects that you want us to do a show on? And we both obviously have things that we like and we want to talk about. But you know, throw them out there. You don't be afraid to, you know, throw spitball and throw some ideas out there because we're wide open. You know, this is a fairly new show, and we want to cater to what you guys want. You know, we just don't necessarily want to throw shows out there that nobody's going to watch because nobody cares about. But you know, don't be afraid.
Exactly. Put it out there.
But I would like to do one on kind of separate it, like one as far as like UFO type things like sightings and that kind of stuff, and then another show like on abductions or you know, like encounters, not necessarily with ships but with maybe other beings. So whatever you guys are.
Oh, that's a good one, Anna. She put hidden history.
Hidden history. Yeah, there you go.
Some things that have been hidden. We can bring some things to light. Yeah.
And that could actually be a whole encyclopedia of things because, again, this is speculation, but I'm pretty sure that we don't know all history. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of stuff that
tons.
It's either A, purposely hidden from us, or B, we just flat out don't know, and has never been recorded. I mean, I think recently I've been seeing a lot of stuff on giants, like in China. I saw a couple of videos like on recent digs and stuff like that, or, you know, fairly recent anyway, of these giant skeletons, and these, you know, like they're pretty well preserved, and I mean, they're huge. I mean, they're massive. And so you can do a whole show on that. But let's see, what is this? So Bubba in LA that had a powerful experience with a ship in the 80s. They were interviewed, undeniable. It happened to them. Well, that's cool. And that's some Bubbas. Okay.
Bubbas or Buddhas? Bubbas.
Yeah, I see Bubbas.
I like that.
And they're, like I said, there's nothing that's taboo as far as, don't be afraid to send videos or things that you might personally have that nobody else has. Like that would be awesome if we got a video or something, or a testimony from somebody that's never been heard before. You know, that would be awesome. And I forwarded you those two, I think.
Oh, good.
From the previous episode, or the one about time travel. She had sent it to me right after, or sent it to the show right after.
Oh yeah. I think, and you did send it to me in the email.
So at some point, I would almost like to have a little bit of a round table with people that might have had experiences. I mean, if you're open to coming on the show, you don't have to show yourself. You can just do audio or whatever. And, maybe we'll have like a call-in number or something like that where you can call in and talk about your experiences and or experience, and go from there. I think that would be kind of a cool format for a show. It's just kind of
that will be cool.
Call in. You never know who's gonna. That kind of opens the doors to a lot of things, but gonna have to have a red button to
buzz them off, mute them,
and or a 7-second delay or something. I don't know.
Yeah. No, that would be good. That would be really good.
But yeah, this is and just so again, if this is your first show, we're trying to keep them around an hour, and we want to. I mean, not that we don't think we can go longer than an hour. We all have lives and we all have stuff we got to get done, and got to participate in real life. So I think an hour is a good digestible segment of time. So you're not, sitting on the couch eating cheesy poofs and, not going to end up like Cartman or something. And, but anyway, I think an hour is a good target, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So again, for any of you watching or going to be watching, shoot us ideas. There'll be a link to the Telegram channel in here as well. And it's not an open group. You have to join by that link. So you can't like search it, I guess, or find it just randomly on Telegram. And until you have a bot on one of your channels, don't you?
A bot, yes.
That
on
one.
Telegram. I have Rose. Yeah, I have Rose on there. Right. She keeps it straight.
So if we open this up, which I want to do to like a chat kind of thing, in addition to just the Telegram feed or channel, we obviously don't want to open it up to porn and Bitcoin spam. And there are I guess some. Did you have to buy that bot, or did you download it?
Yeah, you just download it. I mean, you kind of like I forget where you have to go to.
Is it a woman's name?
Yeah, you just go to her,
and she's got a website.
To her link. You got to send a message to her link, and then you kind of go to her page or whatever, and they give you instructions on how to program her to put her in your chat and everything like that. And so they give you all this stuff to how to program her.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll send you her link, and you can go to that page and, get her onto your chat.
Okay. Sounds like
you just got to make her administrator. That's all, pretty much.
So if I can get that figured out in a relatively short period of time, I think what we'll do is we'll open up a chat on Telegram for this show. And right now, both Joe and I are administrators of the actual Exploring the Matrix Telegram channel. So again, we're always open to ideas. If you think that's a good idea, we'll do it. There's also the possibility of a voice chat kind of thing. So if people want to get involved with that, we can do something like that. We just want involvement. We want, people participating. And I know there's so many people out there like us that want to talk about this stuff, but maybe don't want to be on TV or on a video, I should say. And so whatever format you guys think, shoot us a message, just I'll forward them to Joe and we'll talk about it and go from there.
Yep. Sounds good.
So Joe, it's always a pleasure. I, love hosting these shows with you. This is awesome.
Yeah, same here. A lot of good information, and I'm sure the people are getting a lot of good information and eye-opening things, especially when as we're talking about Antarctica. Nobody really talks about it, like you said. So this is good. And listen, guys, we're going to have more topics like this, so be ready.
Anna, I'm going to, when this video is done, at some point in the next probably half an hour, I'll edit the details on YouTube anyway. So it'll have all the It'll have an email. It'll have all the Telegram stuff. It'll have any link you could possibly need for this show. And I do have the domain name exploringthematrix.com as well. So I'm thinking about throwing up a little bit bigger portal that's independent from other platforms that Joe can contribute to and I can contribute to. That's more of a, I hate to use the word Wikipedia, but kind of like we'll call it a wiki, because that's where it came from. Wiki, a wiki of tinfoil hat types things. Maybe some kind of repository that at some point we would have a section where people could contribute to. Like, so if you have a story or you have something you want to share, whether it's a video or whatever, there's a place that you can go and upload those things, or have a community of, kind of a thriving community where people can get involved and talk about their experiences and not be afraid to. And so, but again, we're open to any ideas. And and Anna, I just say wiki because wiki just means you store information. It's an archive, and there are open source programs that you can use to create your own wiki. And we would obviously have to set some kind of boundaries and some kind of rules for contributions and things like that, like some kind of auditing system. Where we heard that word before. Where we can actually put it in a queue or something, and it doesn't go live until we actually look at it or approve it or something like that. And so you can't post stuff in real time. But I don't know. I get a good vibe about this. I really feel like this is a good direction we're going, and looking forward to growing this channel and getting more people involved.
Yes, share the videos. Definitely share the videos and stay posted.
Oops. You're cutting out there, friend.
Am I?
I think Deep State's attacking your end over there.
No, I'm actually good over here. Can you hear me?
I can. You're cutting in and out like your image is frozen.
Oh. Looks good over here.
There you are. There you go.
Yeah, I was it looks good on my end. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah,
you know how that is. It's crazy.
Well, if you watch the replay, just watch the last couple minutes. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Okay.
All right, Joe, my friend.
All right.
I really appreciate your camaraderie, your friendship, and agreeing to do this show with me. And God bless you, my friend.
Yes.
And actually, I'll see you Friday with Christmas in July with.
Yes, with Delora.
Yes. So that'll be interesting.
The Fab Four. The Fab Four turned into the Fab Five now.
Well, I think she's trying to get like 10 people or something.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, she's trying to get a lot more. So a lot of surprise guests Friday. So
yeah, we'll see. I think I'm going to suggest maybe Vanessa Clark or somebody like Clay Clark's wife or whatever. She did an interview with. So maybe she would. I don't know if she's on tour with them or not, but
okay,
we'll see.
Yeah, that would be nice.
All right, fellow explorers, thank you all for watching, and all of you that are going to be watching. I'm John Hoxton, and my partner Joe Dingle.
Yes, sir.
God bless you. Love you guys, and don't forget to subscribe, forward this video, and just spread the word.
Yes, yes.
Until next time, my friend, I will
see you on Friday.
See you on Friday, yeah. All right, guys. Thank you very much. God bless you.